Welcome back to God of War 2. We're still in the Bog of the Forgotten, or some overly elaborate name, which isn't quite how it actually is. It's just a swamp.
At no point do we ever get the honey bunch. That's a wall, Ryan.
I have to destroy it, so...
It's like, is there something behind here, or are the developers just dicking with me?
No, you have to use it.
How about that local sports team?
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about local sport. I fucking love sports.
Cool.
There's nothing more interesting than starting a part with 10 seconds of dead fucking air.
Yeah!
Sorry, we're
but this
beating the
room
same
is
enemies we beat
boring.
earlier.
Sorry, this really is being led by Ryan. Jesus Christ.
This room is
Well, I guess
boring.
okay. If you want, we want to talk about sports teams. We can talk about the Michigan State Spartans.
This room is boring, though.
Yeah, you're just waiting for a body to swirl around in the water so you can put it on a switch.
I mean, yeah, I get the like in the context of the game, it's nice to have a a little breather moment like that, but this is dull.
Yes, it is. Now I gotta figure out how the hell to get up there so I can get the chest.
Ugh. You mean you didn't know before you started? Okay. This room.
Okay, just shoot it.
This
Just shoot it, Fox.
fucking room.
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Now I can just jump up, apparently.
That didn't take as long as I was afraid it was going to.
You see, I think
There's
you'd
only
be
so many
more-
options you have.
I think you'd be more inclined to shoot the bramble if your arrows were fire-based.
Like they are in 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, shooting an arrow at Bramble is not going to do much to it. It's just going to lose you arrows.
Well, thankfully I'm running on magic arrows, not just arrows.
Yeah, but there's nothing intrinsic to the concept of magic arrows that says this passes through brambles with explosive force.
Yeah, that's what I said. The arrows are highly corrosive.
Hi, random soldier.
I mean, magic arrows in a Dungeons and Dragons context just means that they hit harder and are slightly sharper. You know? You actually do
What
need
about
to get
magic
like,
missile?
some specific kind of magic arrow for it to be super powerful or anything.
Take care of my enemies, magic.
That's
As I ride
one way to
this gear
save time.
through the wondrous hot cocoa falls.
You see, this is a visually interesting area, so suddenly you're going through it really fast.
I need more boring in my life. God, it's so interesting around here.
But it is a really admirable trait this game has, where most of the areas are very visually interesting and manage to work that visual interest into the things you're actually doing with the controller. Although personally, I would just like blast those enemies off the platform completely rather than just occasionally zapping them with lightning. But hey, they jump back
That gives me
on
more experience
occasionally, so I
orbs.
suppose it doesn't matter.
No. Why is the tree shiny?
Because the developers are trying to draw your attention to it. That's literally the only reason.
But why is the tree shiny?
I would have made it a different color, personally.
Minotaur Golem.
Yeah, that's like
Okay, you can stop doing that now.
the whole making items shiny in the environment was sort of a crutch developers leaned on around this time.
Like, I mean, I guess, like, making it dark red would have been just as conspicuous, but it wouldn't have felt as unnatural.
Well, I mean, nowadays they have nowadays the crutch is more like there's this highlighting effect that happens on items of interest. I'm sorry, was Kratos just knocked into a pirouette?
Yeah, by the spinny attack.
That's a weird animation.
Do it with me, Kratos.
It's
Like
it's
that.
like
Yes, you're learning.
it's like the kaiju monster just busted out of Groovatron.
The Groovatron 5000.
Well, just to be clear, John, have you played the Ratchet and Clank games?
Nope.
The Groovatron is an actual weapon that forces all enemies into a dance. And
Oh.
and in the Ratchet and Clank reboot, one of the bosses pulls out a Groovatron and forces you into a dance.
Do they?
So what you're saying is they weaponized the Michael Jackson super
Yeah, I was
move
gonna say
from
that they get
Moonwalker.
Michael Jackson to sign the license agreement for that because that's exactly what a special attack was in Moonwalker.
Well, might be. It was a disco ball. Forces everyone to start dancing, rendering them vulnerable, and the next attack you execute against a dancing enemy does extra damage. It was introduced in Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction, and in that game was an expendable item, but eventually just became a reloadable weapon.
It makes you wonder how ammo works. Do you just reload it by inserting more disco balls?
Well, I think they just sort of realized that people weren't using the expendable items because they're expendable items, and if you use them, you have to wait until you get to another shop to reload them. But,
Wow, that is one ugly mass of pixels that Kratos is climbing.
Yes, it is. Also, trick for rope combat. Just grab them. It kills them instantly.
Yeah, and the
There's
guys
nothing they can
behind
do.
you are courteous enough to wait.
the thing about
Yes, they are.
the thing about PS2 era vines and trees is that the actual leaves always looked fucking atrocious, and they're still not all that great looking in the PlayStation 2 360 era.
Yeah, good old time powers activate, because Kratos just can't climb around the gear.
Oh no, it's spinning.
Can climb around it.
Time
Listen,
freezing
we've already
powers.
seen the things. We've already established that Kratos can't stick his blades inside pillars to get around them.
Time freezing
Yeah,
powers
true.
can be interesting. I am eagerly awaiting to see whether or not this game uses them to their fullest potential, or if it's just the same standard issue stuff that other games do with the power.
Is the same standard issue stuff merely stopping time to get past an obstacle while time is slowed down?
It's hard to say. It's difficult to explain in words, like, because it's such a complex design element.
Then
when
you
it's
shall
done right.
explain it in song.
I would, but I'm a terrible singer. That would just be that would
Then
probably...
you shall sing it in country. You
Okay,
don't have to sing.
look, we're so close to 70,000 subscribers, John. I don't want to lose us 10,000 before we get there.
Well, the YouTube's gonna do that for us anyway.
Butt purge.
When the next purge happens, yeah, I can see it. But, ugh. Like, okay, stopping time to get past obstacles is basically the sum and total of what you can do with the power. But, like, the actual design of those stage elements, their complexity, what interesting things they do with those obstacles, that sort of thing. Like, how do physics factor in? That sort of that kind of
well,
concern,
in God of War 2's case, it's basically you activate the time stopper to get past an
You climb up
obstacle.
something, or
Yeah, you're trying.
crawl
It's
them.
basically a time trial.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's the same old that I was talking about.
And Kratos can just push this over, apparently. With the help of the weights, of course, but still.
Still, though, that take.
It's only slightly less feasible than boulder punching in Resident Evil 5.
Oh, the trophies are looking out for you.
Must avoid lower back pain, children.
Oh, it's a bitch when you forget to live with your without your knees.
I'm not sure if it's possible to lift without knees, but
Well, I mean, without using your knees, you know what I mean.
I know, I'm joking.
Lifting heavy objects
Asshole.
is surprisingly complicated if you want to avoid complications.
You don't say.
I had to fight with my boss when I was in stock in Browns and Code Factory because they wouldn't allow you to wear a back bracer.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, look, I'm pretty sure this is illegal, and I'm wearing the fucking bracer.
God of War.
This is illegal, you know.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Look, I think that is
Probably some corporate policy
I
about
think it
something.
was. Yeah, I think they tried to pass off as corporate policy, and they just saw me as a 19, 20-year-old working at stock. I didn't know what he was talking about. It's like, fuck you, I know what I'm talking about. I'm putting the bracer on. Family has a bad history of back problems, so.
Huh.
Poor convenient soldier. I will help end your pain.
Wait, were you working
This is
in a
causing me
position-
several more pain. This is not how you move an injured body.
I never said I wouldn't cause you pain on the way there.
Were you working a position that was visible to the public?
No.
Oh, well, they have no reason.
Yeah, I was in stock. That was
Like, no one sees you. Like, they don't even have the excuse of people might get the wrong idea. Huh.
I'm so glad that companies care so deeply about their employees.
Ugh.
well, that's kind of why people join unions.
Yeah.
It's kind of why Walmart has an anti-union propaganda video as part of their training program.
So does Target.
You see, actually, one of the funniest things in Splatoon, the Salmon Run mode, the way that the game structures it is that it's a job that you do for a company. When the fog event happens, the boss that you talk to says, "Fog's rolling in. Everybody should group up, but don't you dare think about joining our union." No, wait, no, it's the mothership. It's the mothership event that makes that happen. Whatever. When fog happens, he can't see you, so he says, "No slacking." Yeah.
Man.
Alright, I cleaned the place out. Now time to end that guy's suffering.
Oh, dude, couldn't you just have killed me before you moved me around?
Man, as of right now, I'm actually like, I know like you guys all know this, but for the benefit of the audience, I'm actually getting ready to start a warehouse job that has actually decent pay and good benefits, and is a 40-hour job by default, rather than doing the stuff retail usually does, where they give you 30-some hours and
38,
more.
38, so they don't have to pay you full time.
More benefits.
Yeah, benefits are the big thing.
Okay, so I know we're on this island to look for the fates. What are we doing in this specific area? Are we just
Looking for the fates.
looking for the fates? We're just like looking
That's-
everywhere. He doesn't have a better plan than just.
Well, he knows where they are. He's just trying to get there.
Well,
Okay.
you know, the island very conveniently has this linear obstacle course of areas that he needs to traverse. So,
Oh, okay,
so he's just sort of going forward.
okay.
That's what Kratos does. He goes forward. He never moves on, but he's really good at going forward, you know? Nothing can stop him from going forward, just like nothing can stop him from angsting for eternity. Except apparently a small child.
A couple of small children, actually.
Oh,
Wait, there's more. There's more than one
There's more
kid?
than one in Dad of War?
No, Pandora in 3.
Oh.
Right.
Wait, Pandora's his kid in 3?
No, she's just there in 3.
Yeah, but why would Pandora be like a little girl? She was supposed to be like a full-grown woman.
Did Pandora actually stop him from angsting for eternity?
Yeah.
Huh.
Pandora also was just a normal person. She was just the first human. That's the first woman, I should say. The first woman. So she doesn't have any special powers. She's just a girl.
Well,
Yep.
not in God of War's case.
Yeah, but then they're wrong.
Because God of War is silly. You're asking for accuracy in the series.
Yeah, there needs to be way more fucking.
You know, comparing that, saying that in the context of
you know, I'm
Greek
saying that.
mythology
Actually,
is...
it's like I'm not. Okay, you know what? No, it is accurate because Kratos fucks everybody.
No, it's not accurate because in the Greek mythology, everybody has sex, but not in humanoid forms. Like they turn into like horses and geese and all that kind of shit. So, yeah, there needs to be more fucking of like
I
bestiality.
like how
types.
whenever people bring up the centaurs in Harry Potter, they talk about centaurs as if they were unique in that aspect. That, you know, there was this sort of rapey tendency to them. But it's like, that's Greek mythology. Everything was like that. I
Yeah.
don't really think you have to bring that up in the context of Harry Potter.
In the Greek myths, the centaurs were half human, half horse, like hybrids. I thought that they were just a monster that had the shape of a horse and a human. Like, not that they were necessarily like a crossbreed between the two. Like, I don't think the Minotaur was a crossbreed between a bull and a human.
I don't even know, really. It's just we're trying to separate myth from pop culture portrayal here, though. But like for Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, whenever someone brings up the what happens to Umbridge at the end of the book, where she gets dragged off by centaurs and shows up traumatized later on. In the book, it's implied to be that she just has this irrational phobia against half-breeds that leaves her more traumatized than she reasonably should be. But everyone is like, oh, J.K. Rowling's implying she got raped by centaurs. No, I don't think so. I think you're just reading too much into it.
You're inferring that she got raped by centaurs, not that she implied it. You see, that's the difference.
But what did the author mean?
What the author means is inconsequential. I think I went over this before, but just because what the author means Jack.
But why are the curtains blue?
The curtains are blue for whatever reason that you can justify them being blue. So if you can make an argument for them meaning that the character's depressed, then yes, that is actually what they mean. Maybe they're not just fucking blue. Okay, maybe they do mean something. Is that so wrong? Oh my God, Ryan, we saw that.
Ryan, it's like me falling into the first pit of Insanity Beach. That was an easy fucking jump. Oh God.
Well, that's why I kept it in.
Okay. Anyway, Shine King.
I got a silver trophy for that. But yeah, we now have the golden fleece, so we can now actually counter.
Man, you know, with all these games that have unique trophy icons for every trophy, it really annoys me when they just cheap out and make like a repeated image for all the bronze, all the silvers, and all the golds.
It really is just one more PNG you have to render. So, well, okay, like one more PNG. So it's like what? Like how many achievements does each game usually have? Like 30? It doesn't take that long to make a different image for all of them, if you don't just have to shrink down an image you already had.
Well, yeah, it doesn't take all that long. I know this personally because I do the same thing for the thumbnails for every video.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
I mean, you have some sort of
Okay.
you have some sort of image template that you're following for all of the designs, and then you make a different image to fit each one. It's not that difficult. I'm not big on graphic design, and even I can do that kind of thing.
Now,
Down we go.
graphic design kind of sucks, actually. Like, I cannot think of a job I would want to do less than work professionally as a graphic designer. Because not
What's to do with the fact that I can't draw?
well, you don't even need to draw. The problem, well, I mean, being able to draw would make it better, but trying to imagine working with the people who want your graphic design, like people are so goddamn picky and terrible to graphics designers.
And don't really know what they want.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, can you make this?
Well, or what they want is not actually what they need.
So, why isn't... Okay, so we made that GIF for the promotion. Why doesn't the poster have the character moving?
What?
No joke, that is there's like this Tumblr blog or Twitter thing or whatever for like tales from a graphic designer or something like that, and that is actually something that somebody has asked before. It's just like, why isn't the post
image wasn't moving?
Yeah.
Because we don't live in the Harry Potter universe. Fucking twit.
All the Harry Potter tangents in this playthrough were worth it just for that. Okay.
God damn it! I would lose my shit if I ever heard that.
People are very, very dumb.
Yes, they are.
Oh God. That was actually something someone asked for.
Yes.
A moving poster.
Yes.
I mean, maybe if they got like one of those holograms that move when you shift it left and right, that's the closest you'll ever get.
Yeah, but nobody has liked those things since the 90s.
But we're not at a point where we can print movies.
Well, a lot of like the billboards on the highway now are video screens so that they can do stuff like that.
But that's because you're moving. But, you know, a video screen is a video, not a poster.
Yeah. It's also much more expensive to keep track of, so...
Yeah, you have to maintain those things a lot more meticulously.
Although it does help that for the people, I think that what keeps it profitable for the people who host those kind of things is that because it's a video screen, they can flash between ads like every 30 seconds, and so they can essentially sell the same ad space to 5 people at once. Essentially.
Yeah. And, you know, it's also like fast food restaurants and Wawas and stuff like that have gradually over the last 5 or so years been shifting to video screen menus instead of, you know, the usual printed menus, because it allows them to apply changes to their menu a hell of a lot faster and implement
and cheaper.
and implement more images of what the food is into the menu, which, you know, makes things less confusing and more visually stimulating. And that's a worthwhile use of video advertising, but
yeah, but then when they shift to the other menu that you don't want up at the moment, you don't know how many calories the thing that you're about to get is.
Yeah, you know, you can avoid that without you just by being smart about how you format things. Like, I never have that problem at Wendy's or McDonald's. Like, they seem to have a good grasp on how to balance things, what to keep on screen at all times and what to cycle through. But, you know, even if you're just using a monitor to cycle through a few static menu screens, the fact of the matter is you can apply changes much more efficiently to a monitor.
Yeah.
And that allows them to do stuff like on certain days we can have a certain discount.
Nice jump cut.
No, that actually was just a frame cutting out.
That was more than a few frames.
John, I'm sure Ryan would never cut out an embarrassing death on his end. What are you talking about?
I proved I don't because I kept in the one where I fell between the gaps.
He's kept in the deaths. It's probably like either an awkward camera shift or just the recording skipping ahead. Oof.
Just die already.
And you know, frame skipping glitches in recording are a pain in the ass for a game like God of War too, because you can't like jump back smoothly. There's no way to do it. The
God
game's
of War
too
2 or God of War TOO?
both.
Oh.
Think Bug 2.